Today we're taking a closer look at a Korean hanging scroll painting. This painting is by an artist called Joseon who lived from 1853 until 1920. Joseon is known for creating paintings that reflected the Chinese Qing Dynasty style, but also incorporated bold and saturated colours and shading in his works. So, what story does this scroll tell us, and how can we read this scene? In Asian landscape paintings, the image is usually split into three sections. At the top are mountains or trees that extend into the distance. This part of the painting reminds us of the beauty of the natural world, whilst placing nature at a distance from human lives. When we look closely at this central, slightly gnarly-looking group, we can see that the leaves are painted in yellows and oranges, and the tips of most of the trees have started to lose their leaves. This tells us that the scene depicts an autumn day, signalling that winter is fast approaching. In the middle of the painting, you can begin to see evidence of human activity. Here we have a bridge over a river or a stream. In East Asian paintings, water is sometimes used as a metaphorical connection between the mountains and the areas which people inhabit, showing us how people, although separate, remain connected to nature. We can see 5 different groups of people working in the foreground. Their actions are reflective of autumn and show us the flurry of activity after the main harvest. Each person in the painting is an individual with their own task, but also their own expression. Korean paintings of the Joseon Dynasty often injected humour into scenes like this by focusing on the expressions of those involved, and by doing so, create a lively scene that can be looked at for long periods of time. A group of men are finally sorting rice grains after the harvest, using a machine to help winnow the crops. The man in the blue jacket may be overseeing the work as he stands and looks on from the edge of the mat. The man on the right is holding a basket with someone who is not shown, which tells us that there are even more people out of sight. This gives an impression of a very busy and bustling workspace with lots of activities going on all at once, despite the appearance of a small-sized village. We can see 3 men threshing the piles of rice with large sticks. Even though the painting takes place in autumn, we can guess this must be very difficult work as the men here have rolled up their trousers and the man in the green has removed his underlayer of clothes. An elderly woman uses a large wooden stick to pound the freshly harvested rice in order to make rice cakes. This is a labour-intensive act, but an essential task in the autumn, as rice cakes filled with sesame seeds or red bean paste called songpyeon are a traditional and very popular dish during the Autumn Chuseok festival, which is likely to be fast approaching. The other 2 women in the scene are shown inside the house sorting and spinning cotton together. Like the elderly woman, they are both wearing Korean hanbok clothing, a full skirt called a chima and a short jacket called a jogori. The life of these people is clearly not all hard work. A group of men sit together to share a well-earned break. A man pours wine into a cup. All the groups in this image are connected to each other through the work of the harvest, but in this group, one of the men is looking away from the people he is sitting with towards the woman. These small gestures in the painting reveal a community at work, with each person connected and known to the other. What people are wearing can reveal a lot about them. If we look to the room almost hidden behind the trees, we can see a man wearing formal hanbok and a hat called a yugon. This is a hat worn by Confucian scholars when they are working inside on paintings or creative work such as reading. Although these clothes shows that he is a member of the literati class and should be engaged in his creative pursuits, he is instead disinterested in his work and looks away from his books towards the people working outside. We can interpret the positioning and inclusion of the literati scholar in many ways. He could be there as he is a part of this village, even though his work is separate to everyone else's, or he could be a reflection of the artist himself, looking on at this scene from a distance. Each person in this painting is an individual with an interesting story to tell, and Jo Sok-jin has created a scene that makes you look all around from one group to another and ask questions about their work and relationships. In his paintings, we can see not only an idealized version of what life was like in the last days of the Joseon Dynasty, but also the liveliness and humor that characterizes Korean culture both then and now. I hope that this close-up look at the painting invites you to look for longer at the next Korean painting you see.